You'll cut that anyway. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to the roundup. PG's unavailable this week, so I've got a special guest. He's not a sleeping tablet. He's one part of the young brothers. Couldn't get Butchie's probably at Big Leishman's testimonial today, so he's patched me. But I've got Maryhill manager Mark Young, mate. What's happening, Marky boy?
It's happening, Dak. Buzzing to be on. But wee bit of pressure coming on, but thankfully, obviously, hanging a wee bit. But I think that's the roundup standard, mate, isn't it?
Mate, see when you came on, mate, it says all that you did away to Aberdeen, mate. Show your size of your pint of water you've got, mate, for the show tonight.
It's already half done.
Mate, that doesn't tell you somebody's got a hangover, mate. I don't know what it is, mate. As long as it's no body on it, mate. No, I mean, get the body on it. No, brilliant to have you, mate. This is a bit weird, man, because normally PG is a man in the know, so we're just going to crack right on with it, see what the script is. So what we'll do is we'll start with the Senior Scottish Cup, all right, because we had a few teams in the West representing the West who done very well this week. So the scores in the doors were Talbot 7, Coldstream 0, Clydebank 4, Bonington 1, Drumchapel 3, Easthouse Lilies 0, Fort William 0, Benburb 4, Glasgow Uni 2, Galsby Sullivan 0, Haddington 1, Darvel 3, Meda 1, Hillabeef Hawthorn 1, Pollock 6, Girvan 0, Rutherglen Glencairn 2, Kilwinning Rangers 2, and St Genta 1, Threave 0. So that was all the teams that were repping the West. Good days at the office for the West teams this week, Marky boy.
Oh, tied too, right. To be fair, that's saying here before, we champion the West, didn't we? So we expect their standard, and it's normally a shock or a surprise if one of the guys get turned there. I was actually saying a few guys yesterday, it's a wee bit strange for them to go into the big Scottish and then get drawn against another team in the West. You're probably looking for a wee unknown entity at times when you go into the cup. That's part of the cup fun.
We don't want to see our clubs playing each other, mate, because they already do that, even though some of them are different divisions, because we want to keep as many West teams in it, mate. But I'll just start, mate. First game that I mentioned, Talbot beating Coldstream 7-0. Pretty routine, you know, to Talbot, like the cups, not mean always really, really good at it. And as I mentioned earlier there, Big Leishman's testimonial dinner the day, so obviously I'm not invited, mate, but what I say, well done to him, and that was good for him to keep a clean sheet in a 7-0 win yesterday. Wee Ross Taylor bagging 4 goals, mate. He started on fire down there.
Look, cracking, to be fair. I watched the highlights, and 7-0, I don't think even does them justice, to be fair. I think they've loads of chances to score more. Firstly, super surprised you're in the keeper union that Leishman's in there. That's horrendous, by the way. I'll need to give him a shout out for patching you there.
That's the thing, mate. I was a goalie, mate, but I'm not a goalie union, mate. I slaughter goalies, mate. I don't know what it is, mate.
You're not even safe, are you?
Because I thought I was a player, mate. Do you know what I mean? But nah, that's routine.
But no, actually, I had to jump back on the Talbot. Again, you class them, their cup experience as well it's just different gravy, isn't it? But for me, actually, I saw when I was watching it, there was a wee lad, Aaron Mason, that came on up top, and he looked electric, sharp, and actually his finish, I think it's either for the 6 or the 7, is what a finish, gave the keeper the eyes and put it right across my bottom corner. But that's again, Talbot going about their business. I'd hate to capture them in a cup at any point.
I think for me that kind of sums up how Tucker and Brian and that do their business. I think that with the boy that you're talking about, Mason, and then the boy Ross Taylor, it's not as if a lot of people would know a lot about them. They're not the biggest names, they're no big experienced players, but what he gets with them is they're good players, you know what I mean? And they seem to have settled into the side well. So great result for Talbot, and they look forward to the draw. The draw is tomorrow at 3 o'clock, so this will be time that this is out. The draw already have been made. Probably another one of the games touching on was Glencairn and Kilwinning. I watched the highlights of that. The day it looked a right good cup tie. Kilwinning going gone in front and scored through Mark Miller. Good strike, I think the goalie would be disappointed at Glencairn, and then Glencairn pegging on back, McIlveen getting a double, and then Cowan salvaging it right at the very end, taking it to a replay, with Mark Miller again scoring, and I think the goal at Glencairn will be disappointed with the second goal. I don't know if you've seen the highlights of that, Matt, have you?
No, but I watched his interview, him and Gorms, and I know Marky Sells a wee bit gutted because he said he had a couple of chances during the game. He killed half at 1-0, you go in 2-0 and it's different. But I think Gorms is saying the same. He's happy that they've got a jail at the end, but he's saying that's not how it started. Fully in control in the game for the sounds of the first half, and like fair play to Rutherglen. But I've seen their socials for the build up for all year, and a couple of the guys looked like they were under gunpoint for the promos that they were doing. But it was outstanding. It was a good banner for it, and I hear there's somebody putting a motor up for raffle as well. So like hopefully, never lost a bet.
How awkward are players, isn't it, man, when they're trying to do wee videos, mate? It's funny, innit?
No, see when you get the wee golden nuggets, don't you? They're just like, everybody loves a stitch up. If you're no one fit for a stitch up, there's something wrong.
Big time. But as you say, that means that's a replay next week, so we'll not know until next week who comes out and tapping that. So a good ding dong battle. I think Cowan will be happy to take it home for me. I think they'll be happy to have home advantage next week. Glencairn will maybe be going, is that? Hoping that they've not missed the chance with that late goal they've conceded. But as I said, it looked a right good game and a right good cup tie. And
cup drama, that's what it is, isn't it? 8 9 goals keep you in it. That's what dreams are made of. And if they go and take the second leg now, then Cowan will be.
And what they'll do is they'll know potential opponents by the time they play each other, so it might be a wee extra motivation there as well, depending on.
Let's for it again. And look, I'll put it out there, another one of PG's horrible nose picks where I'm pretty sure he went for the bus, didn't he? And he probably gave them the PG curse, to be fair.
PG's stinking the place out, mate, for me, do you know what I mean? So
he's the only guy that I know that puts 20 quid on a 3-team accumulator for a 50 quid payout. That's horrendous.
But he's not normally been like that. He's obviously sat in the fence big style and think, I need to pick a banker.
I need to get a winner.
Can't even pick a banker, mate. Another one I'll go touch on was the drum. Big day for them, big day for their community. 1-3-0 at home to East House Lilies. Seen some pictures and some of the footage of that as well, and looked a really good turnout down at the Donald Dewar. The skipper, Gagan, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Andy boy, he's got the first goal, a wee bit of history at the club, getting the first goal for the club, and that's a good solid win for them, and as I said, that they've been driving all week as well, and well done to them. They've got the first round to look forward to, the Drum boys.
Oh, to right, and to be fair, I don't think they'll mind me saying it's not been a great start for them in the league either, so they'll probably be a wee bit disappointed for that. So I'd imagine they're hoping to use that as a wee injection to kick them right on there.
Good distraction, and with boys like Temps and that, and they've got a lot of boys that have played senior football, so they're used to that type of occasion. So well done to the Drum, and it looks as if it was an enjoyable day for everybody, and they look forward to it. The Ben's travelling up to Fort William and getting 4 goals. We are Aaron Black with a double, man, superb for them. Getting up there, keeping
2 assists as well.
Did he get 2 assists?
2 goals, 2 assists.
A very good player, Aaron. He was excellent at Blantyre, just obviously never quite worked out for him at Darvel, but a couple of loan spells, and he seems to have found a place where he's getting lots of game time, and he's doing the business and one of the main men down there, and that probably suits him. So for me, that's a good solid result for Benz. I've seen videos of the players doing initiations down the road, mate. It's always good to see you on the old socials, you know what I mean? The away days.
On the bus. No, class. And look, I think I believe they had 4 under-20s up with them as well for that experience, that's different gravy, that as well, and it's class for the boys to get that experience and exposure. For them, the Bent have got a great youth setup as well, so could definitely see well. But Aaron Black, you're talking, he was on fire at the back end of last year as well, wasn't he? Probably part of the reason that the Bens were so close at staying up. But you're then talking, unfortunate, no, we get the deal at Darvel, and he's now back at Ben's, where he's probably found a wee bit of home, as you would say. So and just enjoying his success there.
Definitely agree, mate. And the Bankies winning 4-1 against Bonington. I don't think they've had it all the rain way yesterday. I think Bonington took the lead and went 1-0 up, and then Clydebank have come out. I think they was winning 1 each at half time, but I think they've come out the second half and got an early goal, which would have settled a few nerves. I've seen Moff's interview as well, and quite rightly, he's just relieved and happy to be in the draw for the next round, and he spoke about how well Bonington done as well. So job done for Clydebank, and we know what this competition meant to them last year and how well they done in it last year. So they'll be looking for kind of something similar this year.
I'd say that's probably the successor, whatever, Darvel, Clydebank last year has probably pushed so many other teams to get involved in it and try and get a wee slice of that action. I know there's loads of teams in the aspiration to get into that level, but just seeing how successful they are, and let's face it, the revenue it can bring in as well is class. You get, it seems like Talbot have got an automatic draw against Hearts if they get to a certain level all the way through it, and it brings it through. But no, I like too right, and I'd say the Bankies are probably similar to the Drum. No, the greatest start, I think, and Moff said that before, and some of the results that he's had in the interviews that he's had after it, he's not been awfully happy. But again, they're looking forward to probably just cementing that, and again taking the positivities out here. And you know what it's like getting into a winning way at any team. It doesn't matter what level you're playing. Like just seeing yourself through games and cups, doesn't matter how you get out of that line. But 4-1's quite decent, and they're probably going in again thinking Bonington toiling in a wee bit in their division, but it's similar to myself, brand new team with their own rebuild and stuff like that as well. Where Ross is in there, and they're doing, and I know a few of the boys that are doing there, and there's some right good players, but it's just unfortunate they're in there with a whole level of teams that are just high quality. So it's hard for them, I think, to probably what we struggled with at the start is having that belief in your team. So when they go up 1-0, they're now used to chasing games. So you're like, geez, what do we do when we're up 1-0? How do we see it this game? And then the Bankies are just hungry, and they're just hungry all the time, and they'll come at you. Two teams that were used to playing on Astro, so I imagine the game is probably a nice spectacle to watch as well. Some good football for both.
No, definitely. I think Bonington have shown here the last couple of weeks, although they've not the results. They've had 2 tough games. I think it's Glenafton they played last week and get beat 1-0 narrowly in the cup last week, and then they've pushed Clydebank really well there. So I think it's a matter of time before Ross picks up a result, and once they get that first result, I think they'll motor on. But for Clydebank, I think it was important for them. They've got Josh Weir with a double, and they've got Nicky Little scoring 2 as well. So I think for them, getting the boys back in the score sheet, confidence into them as well. So that's a big positive for them. Meda drawn 1 each at home to Hill Aviv, so that Hawthorn, so that means that goes to a replay next week. I know they were 1-0 down. I think it was Big Gowser scored for a corner, a header for a corner. You get them back in the game, and they do it all again next week. So they're still in the competition, but they've not been able to take advantage of home, having the home tie.
Aye, look, tough. Again, it's one that you would expect from me that I go and take as well, but you never know. The cup, that's the magic of the cup. You never know what's going to happen. But I also read in the socials that they were on their third linesman by half time. So whether that's heat or whatever, but our injuries running up and down there and pulling a wee hammy here and there. But look, I'll put my neck in the line and expect me that I go and take that next week. But especially that's it, and especially with like you were there with the buzz that they had the week before, like the spectacle they've got there with the last minute winner. We are just sitting there going, hey, I think mood in the camp's pretty decent for them, and spending that know what they're doing down there. So I think maybe I'll go and take that, but you never know, do you?
Do you say they went through 3 liners?
I am sure.
What is happening, mate? You get Lionels turning up with green boots on, and then you're losing Lionels to hamstring strains, mate. It's absolutely shocking, man. I think SFA better start taking the boys to boot camp, man. Shouldn't be pulling up when you're working on the line. Just quickly, but before we move on to the Junior Scottish Cup, just quick touch on the other results. You've got Glasgow Uni with a good result against Galsby, so that's them through 2-0, clean sheet. Mark started well there, solid enough start for him. Darvel was pretty routine and what we expected. Dave went down to Haddington, won 3-1. It's obviously be a tough place to go, but we fully expected the last, fully expected them with the quality they've got to go down there and win 3-1.
I think there was a wee change in that game, but I think they were getting beat 1-0 when the keeper's been sent off. So that's a big turning point in the game for them.
Aye, they went down to 10 men. We've taken Big Mackenzie. I think he took them out of the game, and bad tackle on him. He's ended up coming off. Well, he's been sent off, sorry. And then Darvo's just obviously kicked on for there. So Mick, I seen that comment. I think he made he was the only time he was smiling or something. I think so. I don't think he was overly happy with probably the performance, but with cup ties, we all know, mate, it's not really the
just
performance at times. It's just getting through in it. The mighty Pollock winning 6-0 against Girvan. Boys were outstanding yesterday. Delighted for the committee and that. Do you know, honestly, I put a tweet out and I've been fine, man. Dale Esplin messaged me saying you always are fine because I put a cheesy tweet out. So I did.
Was that a bit of rain as well, was it?
No, not one about the rain. I think because I was saying about how hard the committee worked and the turnout was good and they got behind the boys and that. It was just thanking. You always need to be thankful for the supporters and the committee, but it's cost me in a fine, and I think I've messaged them there saying what's that all about, and I think there's a few of them behind it, and I know that Daz Christie and Dyke saying that will probably be in that as well. So listen, you'll get your money, Dale, right? And then we'll move on for it, but I need to stop putting tweets out after games. And then the last one was
I'd say sometimes they're worth it. I'd say sometimes your fines are worth it, mate, to promote the club. I mean, especially when you're new in the door as well, when you're seeing all the work that goes on in the environment. The committees are the unsung heroes, aren't they? That all the work that goes on in the background. So, and no, I think
these boys don't know how lucky they've got it, Mark. I tell you, it's like some clubs with the treatment they get and how hard the people.
One thing you've left out there is your 6th goal. It's the passing masterclass.
Mate, we scored some good goals, but see that 6th goal, mate. If anybody gets a chance to see it, see if you're watching that, obviously people were raving about Celtic today, quite rightly so. They actually ran amok today, but your 6th goal at any level of football was different class. The passing, the movement, one touch, the speed of play in that final third was outstanding. But I've already said about it was a great goal. If you get a chance to go and look at it, watch your goals. They're very good, especially the 6th goal with Johnny Lyne. The last game was St Genta put out 3, so we lost 3, but that's a tight, hard one. That was on Friday night. That was the opening game of the Scottish Cup this year, so unlucky for 3. It was a bit of a journey for them on a Friday night, but unfortunately they just came up shortly, St Genta, so we lost 3 to that. So listen, best of luck to the West teams next week in the replays, and good luck to the teams in the draw. I'm too professional for this, man. I'm used to fucking carrying on.
I know, I'm like, what's going on?
I know, right?
Listen, fair, I'm sitting here with my notepad, my notes. I'm feeling.
Mate, I've not even really got any notes. I'm just looking at my phone for the results, mate, because there's that many. I don't know how PG does it, mate. I take my hat off to the guy. Right, we're going to move on to the Scottish Junior Cup, right? So scores in the doors were Rosvale 0, Muirkirk 0. That was on the Friday night. Rosvale won 5-4 on penalties. We had Aberdeen East End 5, Lanark 2. We had Ardere 1, Johnston Borough 1. Ardere 1, 5-4 in penalties. Arthurlie 10, Harthill Royal 1. We had Banks D Juniors 2, Newmains 4. We had Brecon Victoria 0, Maybole 5. We had Buckhaven Hearts 0, Ashfield 3. We had Carluke 1, Ellen United 1. We had Colony Park 3, Bellshill Athletic 4. Cooper Angus Junior 0, Beeve Juniors 8. Craigmark 2, Largs 2. Craigmark 1 in penalties 4-3. Cumbernauld 0, Shotspawn Accord 2. Had Dufftown 0, Maryhill 3. Good result for the Marquee boy. We'll touch on that.
On the hill.
We had Dundee East Craigie 2, Cambuslang 1. Dundee St James 0, St Anthony's 5. Forfar West End 1, Kilsyth Rangers 4. Glasgow Perthshire 6, Cruden Bay 1. Glasgow United 0, Blantyre 3. Glenafton 8, East Kilbride 1. Greenock Juniors 7, Saltcoats 2, Irvine Vicks 2, Fraserburgh United 2. I think the Vicks, Shady, I think they won that in penalties. We had Isla Vale 1, Dalry 4, and we had Lesmahagle 1, Hermes 2. Fucking some amount of games, isn't there? Livingston United 1.
I feel I'm in the back end of Soccer Saturday here.
Unbelievable, mate. I've just not got the same voice as the wee guy that does the totes on a Saturday night. Livingston United 1, Yoker 1. And then we're getting towards the end here. We've got Lugar 3, Forfar 2. And we've got Petershill 4, and then Nairn St Ninians 0. Royal Albert 1, West Calder 4. Troon 4, Ardrossan Winter Rovers 1, Vela Clyde 2, Gartcairn 2, Gartcairn 1 in penalties, Vela Leaving 2, Bankery St Tiernans 4, and Wishaw 2, Bridge Adon Thistle 1.
Yeah, and breathe, mate.
Mate. Breathe. Tell you what, cracking away days in there. Cracking away days. Mate, we'll start with yourselves, Marky boy. Good 3-0 victory. A long journey for you. How did it go, mate? How was the game?
Oh, look great. As you said, touched on earlier. Bad bites, good points. 3-0. That's what happens. You're in the next round and you're buzzing. So, but long journey. The way up's not the same way as the way back down. But we get a wee bit of semantics, but a wee bit of disruption. There was Harley Davidson patrols all the way up and down the roads with closers and shut-offs. It was just up at Aviemore. It was just a wee show. Loads of motorbikes, so they've shut off all the roads, and we're sitting there for about half an hour. I'm sitting there talking. So we then had to push kick-off time 15 minutes. That was a max that the league would let us, the cup would let us do it. So kicked off at quarter 2, 3, and we got there. I'd say about. We were probably on the park at 20 past if we were lucky. So micro warm-up, 20 minutes in there. The good news is the boys were buzzing. My team talk was like 2.5 minutes. So there's always a silver lining for things. The lads are usually off asleep by the time we're ready to go. So,
good, mate.
But no, look, they went in there, took us a bit of time to get started just with the jet set legs and stuff like that. They're a wee bit heavy, and the lads said that to me after. They were like, Jesus, they couldn't move the first 20 minutes, but second half came in, showed the quality, delighted to get us out of the line, and then into the next round.
Good, mate, good, and good day all round for the club. I take it there was a few shared bits on the way. I seen a few songs had been made up and all that, mate. Just the usual antics on the buses, mate.
No, too right. To be fair, any gear, a wee shout out to Gibbs and the team who's found his niche and coming up with some chants for the boys and stuff like that, and it's become a wee ritual. So the lads were just at the back singing all the made up songs, just really enjoying it. And like you say, for me, that's where the camaraderie comes in, and teams start to actually get together. And if you like the boys that you're playing with, it means you'll fight for them on the park as well. So, and to be honest, I think that's probably what's done us a wee bit of justice in the last couple of weeks. So 3 wins in a trot, hoping to just kick right on, but a couple of hard games coming up, like everybody does. So, as I've said in other interviews, just keep us grounded and keep the hard work going. There's going to be up, downs and highs, as there always is. But sorry, it's not the Maryhill show. We'll kick on.
Listen, mate, I think the people out there were fed up of hearing about the Ashfield show every week, mate, and the Pollock show, mate. So, listen, you need to promote your own club, mate. Don't do yourself a disservice, mate. Man, that's 3 games in the spin you've won. These are really kicking on now, and it's good to see. And it's always nice, man, to try and go runs in the Scottish Cup. It's always good for the players. It's good for the fans and the committee to get the days out and even big home draws at home. Do you know what I mean? Big teams at home. So, no, well done to you, mate. And I know you're nursing a wee hangover, mate. I've been there many a time, mate. So, don't miss that right enough. But you're always wanting the away day. But well done to Maryhill. It's a great result for him. Next one I was going to touch on was Arthurlie, banging in 10 against Harthill Royal. Wee Tam McGaughey doing the business, 7 goals for the wee man. That's impressive, because I think Arthurlie, for how well they've played this season, have maybe just not been getting the goals that their play merits. So seems as if they've been firing all cylinders yesterday and scoring 10 goals, double figures against Harthill, who used to be in our setup.
Yeah, no, well, you're looking at that and like the season they had last year. it's hard for them, isn't it, to then go and emulate that the next year after it. And they've went in probably as a well-oiled machine, and all the managerial change and stuff like that as well, just at the start of the period. But I think again that we rejuvenate and win with the Meda with 9 men that they've managed to go and sneak a 1-0 win. You're then going, hey, that's just kicked on. And like it's seen with so many other teams, as soon as you get that wee first monkey off your back, you kick right on. And I don't think it was ever going to be a doubt that Arthur were going to give somebody an absolute doing. Unfortunately, it was Hill on Saturday. And again, maybe about 7 goals in any game, man. Sitting there with a cigar out, and he's not walking home with a match ball. There's something wrong there.
I know, unbelievable, and it does show you the quality that they've got down there, as you say, mate. It's never been in doubt, but to go and put on that show at home in the Scottish is impressive. Another one what I touched on was Newman's, mate. Great result for them, going and beating Banks of D. They've not had it all their own way the last couple of seasons, and although they've had a wee good decent result or two this season, it's a very impressive result to go up to Aberdeenshire way and get the result to beat Banks of D 4-2 up there. It's impressive stuff, getting up there and scoring 4 goals. Brilliant for them. Brilliant for them.
Too right, and an interest for me as well. Obviously, we played the winner of that game, so we're now New Mains in the next round. So glad to host them. But exactly what you're saying, the work that they're doing behind the scenes is different class. Again, they've now got a 20s team as well, who I believe are 3 for 3 as well. So that pathway, as for many clubs, is going to be so important to how they progress in the future. So it's great to see that they're getting wins in it. And like you said, I'm hoping it doesn't rejuvenate them too much, because we've got them in a couple of weeks, so they can just chill out with that. But no, outstanding. And like you said, for guys that are building clubs from the bottom up and redoing changing rooms, try to resort their park and all of that, and try and professionalise the setup. I've got a lot of time for that, because it's no easy, and it takes up a hell of a lot of your time as well. So fair play for them in doing that, and then producing it on the park as well. So and look again, like with so many, they'll be hoping to take cup success and take it back into the league, because again, another team that's not had the greatest chances they're in that division that they're in. That's the 3rd division, I'm sure the Mains are in, aren't they? So they'll be looking to just build on it, like we all are, isn't it?
Definitely, mate. Quickly on that, Beeve getting 8 goals against Cooper. I don't think he'd been up against the best opposition, but for them, they seem to have been really hitting form. They're scoring lots of goals. They must be playing some good stuff going forward. So well done to Beeve. One other big one.
What, 15-2, isn't it?
Aye,
last week. So 15-2 games, mate. I like, it doesn't even matter who you're playing. You just be that clinical, isn't it? It's just different gravy.
You obviously know the boys down there, and you know some of the quality operators they've got down there. So no, they're firing on all cylinders. And we play them next Friday night down at Newlandsfield under the lights, which will be a big game. Which should be a good turnout. There's one for you if anybody's looking for a game before the big game next Saturday between Celtic and Rangers. The other one for me was Craig Mark putting out Largs. Largs are normally a very good cup team, and Arnie's obviously got a lot of history in the Scottish Cup with his connections with Auchinleck, and he's always done well with Largs in it. But again, PG always goes on about how well Caddis and the job that they're doing down at Craig Martin. That's another result, another top result for them, winning on penalties against Largs.
Oh, too right. How look, our lad played Largs again in pre-season, first ever game to be fair. And know the quality players that they've got in there. So, and how hard that ask is. So, for me, Craig Mark will probably be happy just initially to just go and compete and be in the game. You know, that way. And they're going. I know I'd be looking at going, shit, Largs, Scottish Cup. You know, it's a free hit. Just go out and enjoy yourself and see what the lads have got for it, then come back in and get the win. Jesus, even if it is on pens, and no pens is a wee bit of a lottery at times, but you take that win any way possible, and that's a great scalp for them to take already. And as you see every year, there's casualties all over the place in the first round, second round, and that's that's why we love the cup games, isn't it?
Oh, mate, amazing, mate. Honestly, I love this. I love the Scottish Cup, mate. It's just something. When I played, man, I used to just give that extra bit of excitement, didn't it? Shorts was a good result for Shorts, 2-0 down at Cumbernauld was a good result for John and his boys down there. That was another one that
Cumbernauld flying, and again, like, I think Shorts are a really good cup team as well. They just seem to do the business, and they're always there.
Yeah.
Year after year, they might have the odd half year here and there, but they're always in there in the latter stages of the Scottish. So they just seem to know how to get the job done in this competition.
Definitely, mate. The Ants gone up to Dundee and 1-5 now. I think the Ants as well is another team that maybe had a difficult start in the league campaign, but to go up there, score 5 goals. I think Jed Dobbs has ended up getting a wee hattie up there, and it's good for his confidence as a striker to go and get the hat-trick. And seen Felix Stankin. Saw Felix stanking the bucktoe on the way back down the road in the bus, mate, which is always good to see, man. Get the old boys on the bucktoe and the mad dog. But no, it's good for Danny, it's good for the troops, it's good for the camaraderie, it's good for confidence. That's a good result for them in the cup.
Oh, that you try to bring the word back last week as well, and it's bounced back ability, isn't it? Because I think it was Beeve that gave them a doing 7-1 last week. So after them going 1 ahead, so for them to then just pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and then go and take somebody else and get that 5-0. You just put last week behind you, don't you? And you kick on again. And like you say, I've seen a couple of other wee videos of Craig Scott, who's ran, I was saying before, about he's ran 18 through his own 18-yard box with the ball all the way up into the opposition 18-yard. He's threw a wee cheeky step over at one point and then made the keeper. Great goal for him individually. Not something you really expect for a big centre half to be producing, but at the same time, you're also asking your questions why nobody's sized them down at any point, particularly what's happened in the pro world the last couple of weeks.
I don't think boys are allowed to do professional fouls anymore. Big man sounds as if he's been watching Majid Bouguera. That's video or something, you know what I mean?
Hey, see it, I'll tag you in it. What a drive it is for him to be fair. He'll be living off that one for a while, I think, after boys.
Fair play, man. Doing it in the Scottish Cup as well is always that wee bit more special, so well done to the big one as well. But Jed still steals the limelight because he get the all hattie, so that's the one for me. One, Glenafton, very impressive, 8-1 winners against East Kilbride. We spoke at the pre-season and the start of season show about what we expected for East Kilbride. So for that, Glenafton, that shows that they're doing really well under Ryan and Marco, and to score 8 goals against some quality players is a very good performance for them. I think Big Shug Care, I think maybe get 4 on the day. Very good striker, real handful. I think the boy Mackenzie as well got a few goals as well. So no, they've went and done the business, and that's a great result for them.
Oh mate, like scary again, like 8-1. We're talking and we were saying earlier the boys at EK they've got some quality in that squad. So it's not as if Glenafton have been there and they've just been, well, you can only assume they've just been on point, and they're just everything's worked that way for them. Then they've been clinical in front of the nets, and like EK are having a wee bit of a hard time now. Really tough time. But the quality and the experience they've got in that squad, you kind of need to just back them that they'll come out of it and they'll come out the other side, and they just need to get into that rhythm again. Whole new good lot of recruitment bringing in, and I don't care who you are, what standard you're. It just takes time for boys to gel and knit together and come good. You just kind of need to try and keep the faith. That's when you find out the character of the lads. So, and their character's definitely getting tested now. But totally. I've got faith that they'll come good, to be fair to them. So
they're definitely good players. Troon winning 4-1 against Ardrossan. I think Ardrossan went 1-0 up. I think. Don't get me wrong, it's actually not the result that's making Maryhill headlines, mate. It's the videos.
Saxophone candle.
Oh mate, what's happened there? What's happened? No. Who is it? Ben Black, was it?
I kid no, and somebody's gave him a candle and he's been told it's a saxophone. I think he's trying to work out how he plays it. It's a bella. A shout out actually. What people have not pointed out is I think when Dale Burgess takes a wee fall in the back. He'd luckily onto a seat. I would watch that. So, and obviously I know Dale well.
Hey goalies, mate, just constantly diving about, mate. Head cases, mate.
That's what he is. That's
Mate,
what he's all about.
It was if it was like a Player of the Year trophy and he was struggling to get understand what was happening, mate. But superb, mate. I've been in that nick many a time myself, mate. So I can feel
it. I think we probably get the luxury that everything wasn't plastered on our social media when we were back in the day playing, and you could get away with all sorts of carnage, and you maybe had the odd wee cheeky foul here and there, but no. As soon as anything stupid happens, the phones are out straight away, ain't
the best it is, but Dino Keenan's took the heat right off him with that Maeda, mate. That wee Maeda he's got gone now. He's got the wee goatee and the wee tash, mate. Honestly, mate.
I've not seen it.
Oh, mate, honestly. Nice? The big, I'm only saying this, mate, because I'm behind a computer screen. I wouldn't say it to his cook, mate, because he'd leather his name, but he's took the heat right off him, mate. But we'll move on, mate. Vela Clyde pushing that Cairn all the way, but losing out in penalties. They've started the season well. They've pushed their team couple of leagues above them all the way and just lost out in penalties.
You're right, I'm looking. I know I got a good bit of that. The report that Football Nomad, I think, went and seen it and wrote a big report about it. And look, to be fair, it's quite lengthy, and he goes into all sorts about pubs and all that as well. But decent opportunity for people to go and get their name out there. And these kind of games for teams when, like, say, where you're going out and the gaffer's telling you just go and play with freedom, no pressure whatsoever. It's not like the league where you're dying for the 3 points. You go, this is just about enjoyment, and everybody, I don't care what division you're in, you are up for the Scottish. Like, that was my team talking Saturday, and I'm sure it echoed all over the place that I shouldn't need to get you up for this game. Like you said, when you were a player, you just loved the Scottish every week, and it just didn't matter. So the boys are just right up for it. And then actually sometimes I find, see, when you're coming up against harder opposition and they're coming at you, sometimes easier to go and hit in the counter and keep yourself in the game if you keep yourself that defensive shape solid. And I've not actually seen the game, but I imagine that's what the Vale have done, is Cairn have maybe came at them a wee bit and have been able to just pick them off in the counter. So I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, they've just not get themselves over the line, but it's the lottery of pens again, isn't it? I think the only higher pens I've seen was at the Nielsen game that was 10-9 pens. I'm nearly getting to the keepers there. Crazy.
Baggy said to me, man, Nielsen have lost 10-9 to Forth, man, and I was going 10-9, and I thought he was meaning during the game. And I was going, Nielsen are so strong defensively, but that was not neat, and that was a good result for Forth. Fair play to them. A couple of teams that were struggling have picked up some good results this week. It's good to see Petershill getting a good result at home and keeping a clean sheet against Nairn St Ninians, 4-0 to Petershill. Good result for them.
And your man Jordan Shelby got his man of the match. And
did he get man of the match? I seen he won the pool. I seen he was up for it, and I seen he never got on the score sheet, but I did see that he was in the mix for man in the match. So St Jordan's a great boy, and I know I was only there a short time with him, man, but thought his attitude and that was excellent, and that as well, and just unfortunately didn't work out. But he's a very good football player, mate, and I think it's a good signing with Petershill. I think he'll do well there, mate. Wishaw winning 2-1 against Brigadon. Good for Wishaw, because their start's not been probably what they were looking for down there, but that's good for them. It gives them that wee cup run to look forward to, the next round to look forward to. So good for Wishaw.
Really strong team as well. I think if I remember rightly, they were one of your in there in the mix for the Div 2 title, particularly in how strong they were last year. I got to see them. I think they played Beeve last year in the cup, and they beat Beeve actually. I'm sure they beat them 2-1 with a late goal. And they were good, well organised unit, and shift the ball really well. Like they said, they've not started overly well, you would imagine, but I don't want that to kick them off too much, because we play them on Saturday. So again, just Wishaw can just keep their morale nice and low for me before they move into Saturday. But in all seriousness, that get like great result for them. Like, it's so easy to get into that rut, and if you're not finding results and things are not going your way, and the heats are doing so. And I've said this about 3 or 4 times now. just getting that initial wee win, it's just so important. People don't understand how important it is to just get into the ways of winning. And it seems like your luck just changes in the wee small margins and those wee tight calls, or the ones that hit the post, or they just go wide. These wee things just change for you, and before you know it, you start scoring, you start picking up points, and you start picking up a wee bit of momentum, and the boys just buzz off it. So again, I think that'll probably be what happens with Wishaw. I don't know much about them.
See if you want me to have a word with PG and tell him to back Wishaw for your coupon this week, mate. That's what you're asking me. Is that what you're getting at here?
Well, when they obviously can't make any comments on gambling or anything.
No, mate.
I feel free to put the PG curse on them. That'd be delightful, mate.
Boys having a Newton. New the way I'm hosting this the night. He might not get his job back in the way that you're going about your business, Mark, right? But we'll move on anyway. We'll move on to the Strathclyde Demolition Cup, and what some people don't know is this is a route into potential the Scottish Senior Cup. So the results were BSC 2, St Cadoc's 4, Neilson 0, Forth 0. Oh, I thought it was a Scottish Cup, that wasn't it? It was in the Demolition Cup, so apologies on that. So we've already touched on that. Forth 1, 10, 9 in penalties. And Fawn 3, Glenvale 0. So go for the St Cadoc's against BSC, 4-2 to St Cadoc's. I think BSC gave a very good account of themselves, and St Cadoc's have just had that wee bit extra bit of quality, obviously, that's came out in tap. But Division 4 club BSC, who have started really well, have shown that they've got a lot of good quality about them, and they've put in a good performance by the sounds of it on the day.
Look, they're up there competing now. I think they've got like 3 or 4 wins, so they're up there the top end of the table where they want to be. Again, momentum's high for them. 2-1 up at half time.
Yeah,
and that's no mean feat against St Cad's. Even if, I think looking at the squad that St Cad's have started with, they've got a few big hitters on the bench and stuff like that as well. So he's probably done a wee bit of a squad rotation and giving lads a chance. But like you say, the depth they've got, I think Erskine comes off the bench and gets the final one to finish at 4-2. And like when you can bring that kind of quality off, and you're benching the second half, and maybe the lads are a wee bit tired, because you can guarantee St Cad's made BSC work for it. So they boys would have been grafting, like they've not had to graft so far. But to go and compete and hold your own to a team that 3 divs above you, you need to take the positives for that. Even though it's a defeat and you're gutted to be at the cup, but you go, hey, that for me sometimes actually that defeat and going holding yourself against that opposition and not taking an absolute arse feeling is just as important as getting a win. So no doubt that'll do that morale in that club.
I don't think they'll play against very many better teams in the league than St Cadoc's, that's for sure. So I definitely always are positives. And the other one, Form 3, Glenvale 0. It's been a good couple of weeks for Form, especially cup competition wise. They've obviously beat Greenock last week in the Friday night game, and then I
went and watched that.
Did you go and watch it?
I know the Thorn. That's club will go to me anyway. So I've known the Thorn for years, and obviously Derek and Ian I know down at Greenock anyway. So we went down on Friday night, treated the wife and the weddings to a nice romantic game of football on the Friday night. They were loving it. Didn't they? I seen it, and to be fair, I thought the Thorn were decent value for it. They defended really well, and that was like last week, and hit well in the counter. I think Greenock had a lot of the ball, just never overly used it too well, when the guys will be disappointed. And I know Derek is used to work with the Thorn, so that would have been a sore one for him particularly. But again, they're building on that, and I know the boy Cammy Armstrong scored against Greenock, and then he's went and got a double against Glenvale as well today. So he'll be flying. Barry will be flying, because again he's kind of had to rebuild that Thorn from not quite scraps, obviously, because the Thorn have always been a powerhouse, I think, in the amateur level. So them coming in just made sense, and the organisation they've got and the setup there, they're building themselves an elite park just down in Johnston, and it's, by all accounts, I think it's going to be a bowling green. So I think good things will come for that club. And eventually, and like again, I seen them in the opening game against St Peters, and I thought they were very unlucky not to get anything from that. They were just unfortunate to go down to 10 men, and St Peters nicked it with maybe Thorn trying to overplay it at the back. But no, I think a really strong team and I think maybe if not this year, definitely next year they'll kick right on and they'll be really competitive, and they'll be up in divisions in no time. Just with the structure and the environment they have down there in the club, really good club,
definitely,
and it just attracts players. I think their big issue was a lot of the boys who played amateur wanted to stay in that amateur zone. It's just where they were away, and like, again, because there would have been teams through all part of the West trying to nip the boys in through the Thorn initially, but they were just so well socially as well. It's a big club, so the lads just stay. It's all pals that stay and play together, and they really enjoy it. And that's part of the ethos that we are trying to build as well. So you know how important that environment that you've got in the dressing room to keep all the boys where they just go, I don't care about the big money, I'm just coming in here socially enjoying it and loving the football.
Definitely,
so,
mate. Move on to Division 4, Eglinton 2, Rosville Academy 1, St Peters 8, Harmony Row 0. Firstly, Eglinton, first win in the west of Scotland, first
points.
First points, as well. So very good result. Well done to them. Good to see them getting off the mark. We played them in a cup a couple of weeks ago, and fair play to them. They came down to Newlandsfield and they stuck to their principles and the way they want to play. And always take your hats off to teams and managers that do that, regardless of where they go. They stick to their beliefs. So it's really good to see them getting off the mark. And well done to them, very well deserved, and they've been working hard at it for the last few weeks and probably seen it coming. They seem to be every passing week getting that wee bit better, and the experience that they're gaining, learning for it. So well done to them on that. And St Peters 8, Harmony Row 0. It's not been a good time for Harmony Row. I know we've spoke a wee bit about them. Unfortunately, I seen them putting out a tweet before the game. That's always a worry when you put out and they're talking about having a couple of 15, 16-year-olds and a goalkeeper having to play outfield due to numbers and stuff. I think originally it was meant to be a free week or something, and then the game's been rescheduled. So I feel for them. I feel for keeping that, and hopefully things can take a wee bit of turn for the better for them. But that's a very convincing win for St Peters. And listen, St Peters have started the season very well as well. So what about you?
Like a young team, St Peters have got, to be fair, I think a good amount of their 20s for last year came up, who again know how to win. Went and won their division, so the lads know. And again, Harmony Row, I only really know the ins and outs of bits of it from obviously yourselves and the conversations that you've been having behind the scenes and stuff like that about it. It doesn't look great, and unfortunately, you don't want that to happen anyway, especially a team like that with the history that they've got. So hopefully
there is other things
they can turn things around.
There is things we've heard about coaches and wanting the board to step down and stuff, but I don't really want to get into it because I feel as if over the last couple of weeks we have spoken about Harmony Row and I don't want to just keep getting on at them because
getting on about it. That's
there'll be people there.
They're just going.
There'll be people there.
They'll feel that they're being targeted and stuff.
And I don't want. Don't want that.
All I'm saying is that great club, great history. They used to be one of the, particularly in the 21s environment, they used to be what a team, and one of the strengths. I know for the likes of, that's where Danny O'Neill came from, who's went and lit up Eve and all that way. So the boys that they've brought through. Great club. Just hopefully they can see, like we all go through turmoil at some point, and so I'm like, hopefully they can just go about their business, get whatever they need sorted, and then kick right back on. Because last year they were in about the mix, weren't they? They were about mid-table or so. So they've had that experience, and actually I think we maybe thought they would go and kick on again this year, having had that year of experience in there. And that's what I was going to say about Eglinton. They've not had that, so just coming in new, and then probably that's a massive win for them, particularly against Rosville, who are probably in the same boat for them. They're trying to pick up as a new team, and that was probably a key 3 points for either of them to go and take, and Eglinton have managed to go and take it. So dynamite for them.
There'll be a lot of people hurting, especially at Harmony Row, man. So I really do hope that they can get a wee upturn in fortunes. So I'm deep down, I'm rooting for them as well. I don't want to see see any club struggling. That's not what I want to see, and that's not what we're in the game for. We don't want to see any team struggling or that. But anyway,
in fact, sorry, I know we've not said about as one of the big shockers for me for the Scottish I picked up is Yoker taking it. Obviously, last year's finalist, now getting Livingston United taking them out in pens, which is a shame for them because they've done really well in the league as well. You know?
I agree because Yoker done exceptionally well to get to the final. I think that they might have just lost their centre forward, Peter Heed. So I think that's a big blow for them. I think the boys started the season well, and I think that Peter Heed are trying to sign him or might already have got him done and dusted. So that'll be a blow for Yoker, mate. But definitely, especially with them being beaten finalists, mate. But I just think that I didn't want to really mention it. Do you know what I mean? Because we goosed it with Yoker because I tipped them.
And you tipped them to be relegated. See, what you've done is you've just gave them the PG motivation, mate. That's what we're here for. But I'll be honest, mate. That we're only a couple of weeks in. Anything can happen for this league. It's by any ways. I guarantee you what's going on in every division. I know everybody's saying it, and at varying levels, it's so competitive all over the place. So I think it just shows how they back him up a wee bit. How PG can he pick a winner is because you just genuinely can't tell right now what's happening. And so that's what makes this level of the game so enjoyable for all the punters and stuff like that. They come in and see it. It's just goals galore all over the place. Other than obviously Nielsen fourth, but at least they get 19 penalties to go watch. So
what a show, mate. It's went on a wee bit longer than what we normally do, but see when we're sitting talking about football, you know what? It was a Scottish Cup week, man. We had teams in the big Scottish, we had teams in the Junior Scottish Cup, and then you've still got big cup ties and even a couple of league games in there. So you know what? If it goes a bit longer, it goes a bit longer. But what I want to say is I want to say a big thank you to Marky Boy Young for coming on, Maryhill manager. Thought you're excellent, mate. Your knowledge is first class, mate, and that is why you are a gaffer, mate, and PG isn't, mate, because your knowledge is very, very good, mate. No, but I want to thank you for your time, mate, and you're a top guy, mate, and it's been a pleasure having you on. I actually wanted to touch on I've had a few people phoning and messaging me about all the palaver with all these suspensions and players that have not been registered and all this. That is a lot of shit.
It's crazy. See, to be fair, I think it happened. Happened a lot. Happened a lot last year, I think, with suspensions and stuff like that happened in there. And I know there was a lot of players that get played where they were supposed to be suspended, and then it was taken quite lightly for a period, just because it was new and it was getting up, and then they kind of started hitting the hammer. I believe now they're just not taking any prisoners.
I've never seen so many incidences. I don't know what's going on, mate. It's a pure shit show. So what I'm going to try and do, because there's been quite a lot of things, I'm going to try and find out more this week about it all, so that we can have a better discussion about it next week. Because that could end up being a podcast in itself, because it's the thing that's on everybody's lips, man. Because there's a lot of differences between punishments between teams and stuff like that. So listen, that'll be a conversation for another day. It's not nice to see, because there's a lot of people maybe falling out of it.
Mate, there's some admin and like internal politics going on between clubs and stuff like that as well. And I know
everybody's trying to look out for
managers.
Everybody's marquees trying to look out for their best interest, and that's their own club. But I'm glad I'm not.
I know we go too much into the details it's because you picked up on that. Obviously, I know Chris Wilson and stuff like that down at Dalry, and I was buzzing for him to get his win last night. The 4-1 the Scottish, just because they've been hit with their admin issue as well, where they've actually lost the game and they've been taking 3 points off them as well. So that was probably a wee opening for me. I thought it was just a case of if you played a player illegally and won the game, then you get your 3 points taken off you that you'd won in that game, but they've not. They've whatever admin error that's been on in there, they've lost the game and they've then been fined and deducted the 3 points out. Now, obviously, that's the rules and that's what the league say, but you know what it's like and how tight it's going to be for competitive. Every point's a prisoner. So I know particularly he was hurting for that. So for him to go and get the win and pick themselves up after that disappointment.
Arthurlie were similar, weren't they? Arthurlie didn't have points and it was against Clydebank, but then they've ended up getting the win against 9 men, and now they've lost the 3 points for that because they played somebody in the game against Clydebank. But
that's right. I made in go winning and all that had it as well, didn't they?
Listen, mate.
I had my popcorn out watching the Twitter, so that was enjoyable.
I did, mate. I was sitting, mate, honestly, having a big bar of chocolate, mate, and a bag of crisps, mate, reading all the tweets and that. But listen, it's no nice to see, mate. We don't like your drama, but at the same time,
look for me. Look into it. Geese the knowledge. Geese the PG.
It's hard, mate. It's hard because it's hard, Marky boy. Because anytime you speak to people, they're going to have they're going to back their own side of the stories up, aren't they, man? So you probably the truth is somewhere in the middle, man. As people, my mama used to tell us, there's 3 versions of the truth. Yes, but you never know, mate. You've just got to go with the disciplinary mob day. But thanks again. And last thing I want to touch on as well is we've been nominated again for the Content Awards Best in Non-League. The support that everybody's shown is unbelievable. The support that the clubs are shown is mate, honestly, it blows me away. Do you know what I mean? I get dead touched with it. You know what I mean? When you see clubs and supporters of clubs getting behind it. So I just want to thank you for that. But if you've not voted and you think we deserve it, then get on it. But thanks very much, Marky. Cheers again.
Pleasure, mate. Buzzing and beyond. I'm sure I'm going to get a fine for a soppy message, but just to touch on that, mate, what a job he's doing here, and you're talking about by me sitting doing this and the research that I've had to make sure that my stuff's on point and talking to you, and you're just going, I took a wee shot in a wee 15 minutes and it just comes naturally. That's why you're nominated, mate, because of the work that he's doing behind the scenes and how he's bring this level of the game up, mate. And I know it's easy because the two of you genuinely just love it. So it just comes naturally.
I love it, mate.
So you're saying it's like in the pub having a few beers, just enjoying it.
Aye, love it, mate. Love this level of football. Love the people in it. Love the pals I've met for it. Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, mate, never mind. It's never a hardship doing it. Just like talking about football and try to put it out there and even get some players, some shout-outs, some clubs, a bit of exposure, mate. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. But Marky boy,
right, pleasure. Thank you, mate. I'll not keep you any longer. I'm known for my.
Cheers, right, matey.